Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And today, we're going to start by letting people know that guess what? You can get more of us than ever, folks, because we're on social media. Yay!
So much social media.
Yeah, Patrick, where can they find us?
We're gonna have a blog website.
Yep, the website will be up probably within a month or so.
We have a Facebook fan page.
We're there already.
So we have a Twitter account.
There already.
And we have an Instagram.
And we're there already.
And they're all under the same name, which is Disney Coast to Coast with a Z instead of an S in the Disney.
Actually, the Twitter and the Instagram is at Disney CTC.
Yes.
Yeah. So at Disney CTC with a Z, and then if you search for Disney Coast to Coast with a Z on Facebook, you can find the fan page.
Mm-hmm. So and if you go straight to the fan page, the links to the Twitter and Instagram are there as well. So
exactly.
Easy enough.
And soon enough, it's all going to be at DisneyCoastToCoast.com in probably about a month or so, like I said. So if you want to get more involved, as you should, because who doesn't, that's where you can find us. And I am happy to say that a lot of you have been writing or commenting and such saying you want to be a guest on the show or you want to be more involved in the show. That's awesome. We love that. And we're working toward that. Just know that for right now, the best way to get involved is to subscribe, follow, comment on videos, stuff like that. Email us, DisneyCoastToCoast@gmail.com. All of that stuff is the best way to get involved right now. We promise there will be more and more involvement as the show goes on. So we're super stoked that you want to get involved. And we're going to try and catch up with your excitement. So in any case, we just want to start the show with that.
Woo!
So find us. Yay!
And of course, lots of news.
Lots of news
today.
And, of course. Are we going to start with Frozen of the Week?
We have to.
Frozen of the Week.
I don't remember my theme song.
Something like that.
Maybe. We'll go with that.
That was it. So Frozen of the Week. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Frozen Freefall game. Now, this game was released back, I think, earlier this year. There's a Frozen Freefall game that was released. And now they have just came out with a huge update. The snow has melted in the game, and now Olaf has taken over, and it's a summary version of the Frozen Freefall game where all the levels are now summer themed instead of in the ice dead of winter.
So this is a phone app, right?
Yes, this is I believe. I mean, it's on the iTunes Store, but I believe you can play it on Android and stuff, too, but don't quote me on it.
Actually, one of our listeners, Francesca, wrote in about this one, so thank you, Francesca, for letting us know about that.
I personally have not played the Frozen Freefall.
I'm not a video gamer at all. I know you kind of are. In fact, we've got a video game a little later to talk about.
There's another Disney
we'll
app
get to
that I absolutely love, but no, I've never played It's one of those, like, puzzle bejeweled kind of games, but I know a lot of people are really into them.
They're also, Frozen's getting involved with Club Penguin, which is another app game thing.
Well, it's a more of an online multimedia game. It's interesting.
You didn't sell that to me very well.
No, well, I'm saying it's interesting the fact that they're adding this, the Frozen element into the game. Mm-hmm. But I know back a couple years ago, Club Penguin was a pretty big thing. For me, in terms of games, I was, this is going way back. Did you ever play Virtual Magic Kingdom?
No.
I was one of those people who played VMK. This is very old school Disney, where Disney had this Virtual Magic Kingdom game that it got to the point where I think older men were on the game, so they had to close it.
Oh, are they searching for young children?
So,
all right.
But I was a big fan of VMK.
You did. Now, was that kind of like an answer to Roller Coaster Tycoon? Is that kind of... Because I'm going to tell you, I got hooked on Roller Coaster
Roller
Tycoon,
Coaster 2 was
where you could build your own theme
This
park.
was more like Disney fan kind of thing, because you would create your own little like guest park character,
Okay.
and you can walk around a virtual version of Magic Kingdom and go to like rides and play mini games and get these coins, and then you can build your own house essentially out of like, it almost came to the Sims almost, but you get like Magic Kingdom furniture. You can get like Adventureland furniture or a Haunted Mansion house.
It's terrifying how quickly you can get lost in those games.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not even much of a gamer, thank God. But the games that I did get into, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'm telling you, it'd be like 7 hours later. You're like, oh my God, where did the day go? It's really sickening. But in any case, so go get hooked on some new Frozen apps. Also, we have a ton of Frozen news of the week. They had a Frozen sing-along, and who showed up, Patrick?
Kristen Bell.
She showed up for the sing-along.
She's like, I'm just gonna pop into the El Capitan first showing and
yeah, how much
surprise guest.
How much do you wish you were there? That would have been cool.
I mean, I'm not gonna brag, but I've met her like twice already.
Yeah,
so.
you're over it. You're like, whatever. Tokyo Disneyland also has some Frozen stuff going on. Anna and Elsa's Frozen Fantasy, starting January 13th, ending March 20th. But they're doing a whole kind of, I mean, the thing at the Hollywood Studios in Florida did really well.
Really well.
I think much better than even they expected, which is kind of just the given when it comes to Frozen. It's always going to do better than expected. So they're doing it in Tokyo, something similar. And they're actually changing their Once Upon a Time projection show, which we've discussed on this show, and they're putting in some new clips and stuff from Frozen, so that's pretty cool.
Hopefully we'll see more of that happen at World of Color this year. I think last year with their winter version,
it was pretty much all Frozen.
No.
It was a lot of I shouldn't say pretty much all. It was a lot of Frozen, though.
Well, Olaf was the host, but the only segment they showed from Frozen was Let It Go.
Let It Go.
And it was maybe a minute long.
Okay.
So it wasn't like... This was Frozen just came out, obviously, so they didn't still know. But now, since they know, I'm interested to see if they change the one from last year at all, or just bring that one back in general.
We'll see. They do have the new Toy Story Christmas special coming out, so that might incorporate that, because I remember they incorporated Prep and Landing into the show.
But I would not doubt if they...
And they might do an all-Frozen one.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. It's crazy. And then finally, I think our last little piece of Frozen news of the week is, if you're familiar with Studio Disney 365 in Downtown Disney at Disneyland, guess what? The store's going away, and it's becoming Elsa and Anna's Boutique. So, an all-Frozen store. Basically, those should be popping up all over the country, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Especially for Christmas. That's going to be a huge hit. So, that is our Frozen news of the week, and here goes the theme song that Patrick's going to sing. You changed it.
That was R2D2.
Oh, okay. Cool. So that's our first news of the week. If you're keeping track, that is 5 weeks. 5 weeks in a row with brand new spanking Frozen news. So, okay, so we were talking about games a minute ago, and Patrick, you have a new favorite phone app that you're obsessed with.
I think every Disney fan has a new favorite phone app they're obsessed with. If they have an iPhone, and if you have not played... People always pronounce this wrong. It's Tsum Tsum.
Oh, I keep calling it Tsum Tsum.
No, it's S-U-M, like some, but
Tsum
you just
Tsum.
put like a...
Tsum Tsum.
Tsum Tsum.
With a little T before it. T-S-U-M.
Tsum Tsum.
Tsum Tsum.
I guess you can pronounce it whatever.
Yeah,
I go
Tsum
Tsum Tsum.
Tsum Tsum.
Anyway, this game is addicting. Really addicting. It's, I guess, kind of like the free fall game in terms of, there's these little circly versions of iconic Disney characters, and you're trying to connect them in a row. Obviously, the longer the rows, the more points you get. But there's these power-ups, and if you can buy different Tsum Tsums for different power-ups, and you can play with friends in terms of trading them lives and try to beat each other's score. But I think it's gone beyond the game, because you can actually find these plushes in Disney stores, and they're so popular that they're selling out really fast. And now this game originated from Japan, where it's way popular over there, so obviously they brought it over here, and it's just been growing ever since. I mean, me and Jeff went to the World of Disney store at Downtown Disney, and all they had were the giant Tsum Tsums.
I know, now you don't even know how you want to pronounce it.
Tsum Tsums. And I was disappointed.
I was going to say, Patrick almost cried. Not only did we go to World of Disney, but we went to the Emporium on Main Street in the park. We checked a couple different places, and they were out of Tsum Tsum plushes. So
it was very sad.
Yeah, so you were sad about that. But I think even funnier, on the drive to Disneyland, I was driving, you were on your phone.
I was playing the game.
I didn't know you were playing, but all of a sudden, like, you freaked out. And I was like, what happened? What happened? You're like, oh my God, oh my God.
I got a high score. I passed my high score.
He passed his high score. You would have sworn, I don't know, you would have sworn something amazing happened, but it was simply...
That was amazing.
It was amazing for you. I'm glad that you had so much fun. But in any case, yes, Tsum Tsum, however you want to call it.
It's huge.
It's
now
huge.
They usually sell the plushes in like mini size, regular, and then the bigger sizes like in the game.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of avoid video games for the reason that I have an obsessive personality, and I would get addicted to these things. So I am smart enough to know, just don't even bother. I remember when people were playing Angry Birds, and I was like, what is so enjoyable about this? Whew! I put it on my Kindle. I was just like addicted to Angry Birds. I just have to walk away. That's how it becomes.
So if you're already sucked in, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tsum Tsum.
But if you're not, join.
Tsum Tsum.
One of us.
Tsum Tsum Tsum.
One of us.
Oh, God. Anyway, oh my God, we have something super exciting to talk about that I have to say. Actually, we have to apologize first because we're reporting on this late.
Way late.
Way late. And the reason for that is because simply Patrick and I did not expect this to be as grand as it is. And what we're speaking of is Legends of Frontierland at the Disneyland Resort. This game is so much fun. It's a role-playing game at Disneyland. They keep developing all these different sorts of games for annual pass holders to become more involved and keep coming back to the park and stuff. And I gotta tell you, in my opinion, they hit a home run with Legends of Frontierland.
Now, we've only done this one day.
Although we're going back tomorrow to play again.
So we'll see how it compares. But even after we played the one day, I went back to Disneyland. And when I walked through Frontierland, I saw a whole slew of 100% different characters than I saw last time.
Oh, even cast members?
Even cast members. So, it'll be interesting to see how they change up the stories every day.
Yeah, so basically here's the thing. You go in, you sign up for a team. You're either Rainbow Ridge or Frontierland. Patrick and I were on the team Rainbow Ridge.
Ooh, Rainbow Ridge.
Rainbow Ridge forever. For life, whatever it is. And so you've got the team and you want to buy the most land. And so they send you on these little quests and you earn money and then you can buy land with this money. Very happy to say Patrick and I bought 5 pieces of land. 5 pieces.
It's pretty hard to buy land too. You have to get a good amount.
You need to get a good amount of money. You get to name your land. Do you remember what we named it?
Oh man. Okay, we had live here.
Yep.
Don't live here.
Yep.
Phantasmic.
Uh-huh.
Piece of land.
A piece of land, yep.
And square.
Square. Very good. Very, very good.
I remember all of our land.
So that was our land. And you actually get deeds to the land. It was great. And there's like talent shows that you become part of. And we actually almost went to jail, the both of us. You went to jail almost for being obnoxious, I think.
I think so.
And
it happens.
I can't remember why I was almost sent to jail. I wasn't trying to cheat, but I think I was asking for something and they're like, you're being greedy, and they almost sent me to jail. But it's so much fun. Actually, if you want to see video of Patrick and I playing Legends of Frontierland, you can see it on Patrick's YouTube page, which actually, if you go to the YouTube page where you see Disney Coast to Coast, there's a section called Guest Appearances, and they have the videos from there in there, so you can go check out Patrick's page or check out the videos there. Whatever. We had a blast. Like, I think we played like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, we took like an hour break, but
to do Space Mountain and eat lunch or something.
And then we went right back into it.
Yeah, which, like, sincerely, it was one of those things. I was just like, we got to do this because we got to talk about it on the show.
Which is a pretty nice thing, because if you can start the game, maybe take a break, and then jump right back into it.
That's the best thing about it. It is super, super easy. It's not like you have to commit your entire day, although I will say a lot of people playing do. Yeah. There are some crazy people there who clearly have played a lot and come in full costume and legitimately think that like they're the mayor of the town and stuff. And it's cool because the longer you play, the cast members get to know you and and they give you like more responsibility, and you do become like roles in the game. It's so much fun. And then, they sell elixirs, which the cool thing about it is that it's completely free with theme park admission. There are little things you can spend money on that I don't even want to say it'll gain you anything, but they had like these elixirs. I got the knowledge elixir, and you got, what did you get?
Luck. Now, originally we just bought these elixirs because
to drink them.
We thought they were good.
Mine tastes like, knowledge tastes like Christmas. Just putting that out there.
And later we find out that you can actually use them in the game. When one of the characters says, "Oh, maybe if you had a little luck on you, I'll give you this." And I'm like, "Oh,
so if you
wait,
if you buy the drinks, drink slowly and keep that cup in your hand because." We didn't do that. We basically downed it. And it was, I think it was like $3 or something. It wasn't crazy.
But like you said, it's not one of those things where you have to buy, but no, it was a little incentive.
It was really cool. So, I became a hero at the end of the day, which was awesome. So I got a little gold coin. Piece or something. And, one of my favorite parts was the river water.
Oh, we got something free at Disney.
You're keep being shocked by this. Every time we get something free at Disneyland, you're like, I can't believe this.
Let me.
This doesn't happen in the world.
Disneyland, gave you something for free.
Yeah,
not even being an annual pass holder or anything. They didn't know what we were, but they gave us something for free. That's insane.
That's magical, folks.
Yes.
So at the end, there's a portion of the game where one of the big storylines were revealed, and to celebrate, they took a group of us into the Golden Horseshoe, and they said, we're going to celebrate with some river water. So they brought out these shots of what we thought were just going to be water. No.
It's like a warhead syrup or something.
It was like a Sour Patch Kid liquid, where everybody took the shot at once, and of course it's super sour, and you get the look on everybody's face. But Patrick and I really liked it. Mm-hmm. I'm into those Sour Patch Kid things, so it was delicious. But it was just, I cannot say enough. It was so much fun. So, if you get a chance, now, I will say, this attraction was supposed to close September 1st, which is why we had to apologize for bringing you this news so late. But it has been extended. There's no end date in sight. They haven't set a new end date, but it's done well enough that they did extend it, so I'm excited. Like I said, we're going back tomorrow and playing some more. I hope it's as much fun the second time.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm bringing my yellow bandana, Rainbow Ridge all the way. Mm-hmm. And, you know what one of my favorite parts was? When one of the missions was they had everybody playing the game line up in front of the entrance to Frontierland.
Oh, yeah.
And the two teams had to welcome the people walking in. So, of course, all these, like, normal, regular day guests are kind of clueless.
They have no idea what's going on.
And so, like, we're all standing in line. We're like, welcome
to Frontierland.
Yeah.
Boat Rainbow Ridge.
And it was just so much fun. And we're not going to say who won that day. We're not going to say whether or not it was Frontierland or Rainbow Ridge. I think in order to find that answer, you're going to have to check out those videos on Patrick's YouTube page.
It was interesting.
It was certainly an interesting day. It was fun. So, Legends of Frontierland, rock on. Transitioning from there, as we said, Disneyland is trying to do a lot more stuff to get annual pass holders more and more involved. And they did have this adventure trading company thing, which this was a buy-in. I think it was $5 because at the end you do receive like a souvenir of sorts. And it was, we didn't play this because we had too much fun with Legends of Frontierland. And now we're kind of hearing it's too late because it's ending earlier than expected since they sold out of the souvenir, which I gotta say is kind of frustrating because I went through this back at Easter when they ran out of the Easter egg maps and prizes. What's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe it was only a limited time run. I know they tested this game back in D23. I saw people running around the convention in little setup stations where they can earn these little juju talismans. So they brought them to Disneyland, I guess only maybe till they sold out, and apparently they did. Who knows if they're gonna bring some more, or...
I would play it.
Yeah, obviously if it sold out, it did pretty well.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I've seen people walking around with the talismans on, and it's a cool thing. I wish we would have tried it, but...
I know, well... Oh, God, we were thinking about doing it the same day, but, God, Legends of Frontierland took our day away.
Yeah, I kind of stole that.
I think we did, like, 3 rides because we just did Legends of Frontierland.
It happens.
Oh, it was so much fun. So, going from Disneyland, let's fly across the country to Walt Disney World, where they just had a big event. We've spoken about a little bit on the show, but now it's happened and we can discuss it more. Villains Unleashed. Mm-hmm. Patrick, you got a lot to say about this, I think.
Well, obviously I wasn't able to attend Villains Unleashed, but building off of what they did from last year's limited time magic event of Villains Unleashed, they created this as a hard ticket event. Obviously they added a little more from last year. We had a Oogie Boogie stage show, some more rare characters. There was an appearance of some of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. But from a lot of what I've heard is, while it could have been a great event, it wasn't, due to the fact that they totally oversold the event. Most people were, especially like me, I'm a character hunter, and for an event like this,
I love that term, character hunter.
That's what they call it's a term. People who love meet and greets and love meeting characters.
It's like a nice way of saying character stalker.
I'm a hunter. I want those pictures. So for this event, it would be a great idea for me, because there are those rare characters at the event that I'd love to meet. But unfortunately, because the event was only from, I believe it was from 7 to 1 or 6 to 1, you have only a limited amount of time to meet these characters. And unfortunately, the lines were about close to 3 hours for each character.
Wow.
So if you were,
and this is no fast pass.
No fast pass or anything. So if you're paying $67 to essentially meet 2 characters, I would call that a bust. And unfortunately, that's what happened with the event. I know some people did have a good time if they weren't looking to meet characters. They're just looking to see the shows and whatnot. But I know Disney had to start making full refunds to people because...
Really?
Yeah, because people were going to guest services. So, unfortunately, while I would love to say the event was a success, obviously I can't take my opinion because I didn't actually go. But from what I heard, I think the event could have been a better success if they extended it over a couple of nights and limited the number of people into the park. Because unfortunately, with the Hollywood studio space, there aren't as many attractions to take away from the event that's going on. With like Mickey's Not So Scary, you'll still have all the rides open and people will go on those. But with Hollywood Studios, you have Star Tours, Great
Movie Ride.
I don't think that was even open.
Tower of
Twilight
Terror.
and Rock and Roller Coaster. So my advice, if they were bringing this back as a hard ticket event, they do it more than one night and limit the amount of people who go.
Having said that it was a one-night event, I gotta say, like, the amount of money and production value that goes into these one-night events is insane to me. I saw a bunch of YouTube video on it. The fireworks show was really cool.
Yeah.
Once again, so excited that fireworks shows are becoming a normal thing at the Hollywood studios. I think that that's fantastic. But they did a really nice fireworks show, and the cool thing, I actually liked it more than the Halloween party fireworks show. Mm-hmm. That one's very like poppy, and this was like more like just background score.
Yeah, straight
stuff.
Like villain.
It was all, it was all villain scores, and it's all instrumental. It was beautiful, but it's cool that they had that show. I find it, well, one thing that we had discussed a little bit, and that as I thought about it, I was like, wait a second, this is awesome. So as you said, Star-Lord and Gamora were there from Guardians of the Galaxy. Ladies and gentlemen, those are Marvel characters inside a Disney theme park.
Yes.
This is great. So, as we've said before, there's the whole legal issue between that and the island over at Universal and Marvel and all that stuff. And nobody's really 100% clear, but now I guess this is 100% proof it's certain characters only. Mm-hmm. So, certain Marvel characters we will be seeing in the Disney theme parks, and I believe Star-Lord and Gamora are the first for Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So that's exciting. So, I wonder how many people they had to refund. That's crazy.
It's interesting. Like I said, there are still people who would consider the event to be a big success. Obviously, they made so much money off of it, but
which means it will be back.
But in terms of guest satisfaction, it wasn't. They actually ran out of food and drink halfway through the event too.
Wow! Why did this? That's unlike them to not know how many people. This sounds like opening day of Disneyland with people hopping gates type of thing. That's interesting. I love character meet and greets, but I probably would have been running around to the shows. So if I were there, I probably would have enjoyed it because I would have been like, yay, fireworks. And it seems like they had quite a few stage shows. The one character I would have loved to have met would be Constantine from Muppets Most Wanted.
Which had a 3-hour wait.
3-hour line, so I would have missed everything else.
Yep.
That would have been terrible. Anywho, that's Villains Unleashed for you. I guess till next year.
We'll see.
It'll probably be back next year.
Hopefully multiple days, Disney. Multiple days.
Yeah. Because there's nothing else going on at the Hollywood studios, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Maybe it was just a test year. Who knows? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're going to move on. I was just saying Star-Lord and Gamora. There's a bit of Marvel news out there. Bit of heated Marvel news. I don't know if you've heard about the whole Big Hero 6. Supposedly, there's some, arguing going on between Disney and Marvel about the way that these characters are being handled and such. Now, John Lasseter is denying these rumors. But personally, folks, I feel like if there's rumors, it's probably partly true. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Big Hero 6. And there's already, Oscar buzz going on within the studio. In fact, they're saying not only will it be nominated for Best Animated Feature, they're like, it's going to be nominated for Best Feature. I think that's a very ballsy thing to say.
That's very bold.
Yeah.
We've obviously seen the trailers, and it looks like a fairly entertaining Disney animated feature, but I think it will touch Frozen numbers? Absolutely not.
I don't think anything will for a long time. So we'll see what happens with Big Hero 6 and what the heck's going on with Marvel there. Who knows? It's crazy. Back to Florida for a second. Epcot is retiring a bunch of their shows.
Sad day.
It is sad, but I always like to see change as well. My whole thing, though, whenever any theme park retires something, I don't understand why they don't record these things professionally and sell them. I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there and stuff now, but I just wish there was an official Disney site you could go to see these retired rides and shows. That would be fantastic.
The one thing that makes me sad is they have all these acts and they're taking away, like you said, with change, but they're not replacing them.
Well,
most of them, this goes back to a couple months ago when they took away the ZD sisters from Italy. They just straight up took them away. Nothing was replaced. Nothing was changed. And half of these, they're doing the same things with. And I think it's sad to see being, as an Orlandonian.
Orlandonian?
There, we'll go with that.
Orlandonian.
And having, knowing a bunch of the actors within the theme parks, it's, the jobs are slowly declining, and it's just sad to see that happen.
Yeah, they're saying what I'm hearing is being retired is Off Kilter, Mo Rockin', Spirit of America Fife and Drum Corps, and the World Showcase Players. I'm hearing for new shows, they're bringing a lumberjack show to Canada, Berber music and dance troupe to Morocco, flag wavers in Italy, and a Celtic folk music group in the United Kingdom. So they've got some new stuff coming in. My guess is it's probably less people than less cast members needed. That's tends to be the way things go.
Yeah.
But
and until they're in the parks and I see them,
yeah,
there's always changes at Epcot. So of course, with the holiday season coming around, it always brings more to Epcot as well. So
yeah, and food and wine pretty soon, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. From there we have Not So Scary. Mickey's Not So Scary is starting already.
September
1st,
which is the earliest I think they've ever done it. Usually, the Mickey's Not So Scary will start mid-September, but they're going full force with 2 months of Mickey's Not So Scary, both in September and October.
This is Orlando. So Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Orlando starts September 1st. It starts later in September, Mickey's Halloween Party at Disneyland. But one of the things that is interesting is they're having... Okay, what's the buy-in? It's around $67+ to buy a ticket to Mickey's Not So Scary.
Depending on what night. If you go on a weekend night, usually the ticket's around $70.
Yeah.
But Walt Disney World has been having a field day with these hard ticket events. They had them for, most recently, the Frozen event. They had a hard ticket dessert party where you get little desserts and you could get firework viewing and the coronation viewing. Well, now they're bringing this hard ticket event to Mickey's Not So Scary However, unlike the Frozen one, which was like around $40, this hard ticket event is $99.
Okay, let's get this straight, folks. You're paying around $70 to get into Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and then on top of that, you're paying an additional $99 to go to this villains party within Mickey's Not So Scary.
Double hard ticket.
That is mind-blowing to me.
And the fact that it's more than the actual Mickey's Not So Scary ticket.
It's insulting to me, to be quite honest.
However, it's called the Villains Sinister Soiree. It's in Cinderella's Royal Table. It's a dessert party. There'll obviously be villains mingling around. You get to eat Halloween treats. You get preferred viewing for the Boo to You Parade and Hollow Wishes, and you get a souvenir Maleficent Dragon Cup.
So does this mean, since they're going to be in that little party, the villains hanging around taking poses, that means we're going to see less villains at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
No. You think
they'll have some friends of theirs? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. That is just crazy. And frankly, when I hear of stuff like that happening, that's when I always say, folks, don't buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Like, this is the type of thing you read the Disney blogs and stuff, and people get upset and they get angry about it. It's like, guess what? The only way that stuff like that will stop is if people don't buy the ticket to it.
And I think that's what's happening. I mean, I've heard a lot of complaining about the fact that it's over the actual Mickey's Not So Scary price. So we'll see if they'll maybe lower the price. I mean, you can drop the souvenir cup. I'm sure that's an additional like $12 they just throw in there. But we'll see.
It's crazy.
I think it's every night there's a Mickey's Not So Scary. They'll have one of these parties.
It's crazy.
But we'll see how that goes. Hard ticket events. I mean, they've been hitting them with every event. Epcot Food and Wine is having their hard ticket events coming up as well,
But
too.
it's crazy because they're already hard ticket events. So now they're like doubly hard ticket events.
Well, they're doubling, with Mickey's Not So Scary.
That's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, we're running out of time, folks. I want to mention one quick thing before we go to trivia. But I went on a fun little vacation recently where I went and saw a production of The Little Mermaid, which I never got to see on Broadway. And I saw it in Utah at the Toucan Theater Company. While I was there, I may or may not have just stayed at the resort where they shot High School Musical 2. I don't know. You can figure that out for yourself as to whether or not you think that's something I would do. But the production of Little Mermaid, the reason I want to talk about it is because apparently Disney Theatricals was involved with this production. And there were some major changes. Like I said, I never got to see it on Broadway, but it was kind of cool because like they got rid of some songs and added new songs and stuff. So they're still reworking Little Mermaid since it was not such a big hit on Broadway. So that was kind of interesting. And this theater it's an outdoor amphitheater in the middle of the mountains of Utah, which is just gorgeous. So there was a lot of like phantasmic like water projection and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, and pyrotechnics, and they flooded the stage. I mean, legitimately flooded the stage with water and bubbles. So it was extra slippery for those actors on roller skates floating around. So, the whole time I was just like, OSHA. I was scared. I thought somebody was going to get hurt, but, it was cool. Toucan Theater Company in Utah. And, yeah. Shall we move on to trivia?
Fun times. Let's do it.
You want to ask me a question?
Sure. Going back to one of the first stories we talked about with the Frozen Freefall game.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm not a gamer.
Well, you gotta know this. There's actually... Frozen Freefall was the first Freefall game they put out, but however, they created another Freefall game to another Disney movie that exists.
Okay, you have to explain to me what's a Freefall game.
It's like we talked about. It's like there's little symbols and you connect them.
Like Tsum Tsum.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with the Frozen Freefall, you had like snowflakes.
Okay, so Frozen like has one, and there's another Disney movie that
there's another Disney movie that they created a Freefall game with, and it's just as popular as the Frozen one.
Can you give me like a year that it was made, or like was it a few years ago?
I said Frozen was the first one.
So it was Frozen, then another, and then Tsum Tsum?
It was Frozen.
Oh, goodness.
Well, Tsum Tsum's not a Freefall game.
Okay. I would guess, I don't know why this is my guess, Aladdin.
No.
No. So is it a newer movie?
It came after Frozen.
The movie came after Frozen.
The game?
I know, but I thought maybe it was a game based on an older movie. So you're saying it's a game that came after Frozen and it's a newer property. Oh, goodness. What came out after Frozen? Is it a Pixar
This
thing?
is sad, folks.
Is it animated? Is it animated? Just tell me, is it animated? It's not animated. I'm completely blanking. Maleficent?
Yes.
There's a Maleficent freefall
So, yeah,
game?
you have Frozen Freefall and Maleficent Freefall.
Yay, I got that right.
Only took you about a minute.
And a few guesses later.
Yeah, but it's just as popular, both games there.
Cool. I've got a question for you. What does Tsum Tsum mean?
Ball.
Nope.
Means little ball.
Nope. It's the same word. How can it mean two different things? Little ball.
No.
Tsum Tsum.
Little ball.
Oh, little ball. Nope.
Three of a kind.
It means stack.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. Tsum Tsum means stack.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, there you go, folks. Folks, if you're listening and you want to send in some trivia questions for us, feel free to send them to DisneyCoastToCoast@gmail.com. And I don't know exactly how we'll work that out. Obviously, you got to put the answer in the email. So one of us will have to read the email and then ask the other one that question. But yeah, feel free to shoot us an email. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, we're on there. Website coming soon. And comment on our videos and such and get involved. We'd love to hear from you. And I think that's going to do it for us this week. Yeah?
I think so.
Okay, bye, guys.
See you later.
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.